In the 1950s was the setting. The space race was just the beginning. The Soviets launched a missile. Sputnik was just all right. Orbiting the Earth started to fight. The Cold War was steady. The missiles developed and spacecrafts were ready. The Soviets made it to space. NASA came in 1958, launching projects like Apollo and Gemini were great. Neil Armstrong walked on the moon, then space stations came soon. NASA launched the commercial space boom. SpaceX was first, then the rest came through. Now commercial space travel made billions with the race to battle. Now space travel for the average Joe is advertised on things like Oreos. Who'll be next? Cheerios?
Yeah. So today we are going to talk about commercialization of space travel. So my name is April,
My name is Mike.
My name's Shanu.
My name's Manal.
and we are doing this for our SciTech Com class for our podcast project.
So I interviewed Paula Duvale Pereira, and she is an assistant professor here at FIT. I asked her some questions about modern space travel and the commercialization of it.
So what are your thoughts in general on the commercialization of space travel?
I think that some aspects are great and some aspects are not so great. So what I think is the most advantageous aspect of commercialization of space is that anything that has to go to space, it has to go through a lot of testing and a lot of development, and it ends up costing a lot of money. And if we depend on the government money, which means our taxes, to pay for every single thing, we're either not going to move very quickly because we don't have money for everything, or we are going to starve all our taxes just on this. And neither options are great. So when I see commercialization of space, the good thing that I think of it is some problems that are relatively solved, like how do we go to low Earth orbit? How do we launch ourselves to space? How do we live close? Those things are relatively solved. Like some of the key problems have already been.
That was a really good interview. Yeah, those are awesome questions. I love that. So I actually did a survey, and all of us shared a little bit on Facebook, social media, and I got 58 responses. So I asked everybody on the survey if they have heard of commercial space. Oh my gosh. So I asked if they've heard of commercial space travel, and the majority said that they had, and there was actually a small percentage that haven't heard of it. So I'm trying to find the actual numbers. Hold on. Oh, here we go. 60% of the respondents actually said that they had heard of commercialized space travel, and 40% surprisingly said that they've never heard of it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what specifically? Like which kind of commercials they seen?
I asked, so I said, where did you first hear of commercial space travel? The majority of them said that SpaceX, internet, TV. Let's see what else we got. School, friends, word of mouth, the news, YouTube. There's a variety of different ways. So all the different like outlets people have heard from.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's definitely on all platforms, without a doubt.
Yeah, it's everywhere. So when then I asked them if the people knew the environmental impact of commercial space travel, and 86% of them had no idea of the environmental impact of commercial space travel. Only 14% actually understood the impact. I know, you think it's so popular, but you have no idea what it does to the environment.
That's pretty concerning that no one knows like about the issues it could cause to the environment and everything, because it's also like costs a lot of money like, for those kind of projects.
Yeah.
That kind of information should be more available to the public.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
absolutely.
yeah. I continued on and asked if they would travel to space if there was no cost. 63% said yes. Only 37% said no. So there's a lot of people that are interested in traveling to space, which I was actually surprised about. I thought there would be a lot more people that like
Yeah, who wouldn't want to travel to space?
Yeah, it is like just
Kidding me?
only problem is cost.
Yeah.
If this is free, I definitely gotta go.
But then
Space Perspective isn't even like outer space though.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's like
so-
on the edge of space.
Yeah.
And so like I asked if they would go to space in a carbon neutral balloon still tethered to Earth, which is what they're doing.
Yeah.
And the majority of them said no. It was actually 69% wouldn't do it through what Space Perspective is doing.
That's surprising.
Yeah, I thought they would be more like feeling safe if they were like still tethered, but apparently not. And then I also asked them what is keeping them from going to space. 46% said that it was money that is keeping them.
I just looked something up, like in September 2021, that rocket that took off for SpaceX, Falcon 9, when they took 4 civilians into space, the total cost was around 220 million.
Oh my God, that's
The
insane.
general public, it doesn't seem accessible as of right now. But
Yeah,
obviously this is
definitely
changing that. Like that's what we're exploring today.
Yeah, and then when I asked them for other responses, I had one say that they just don't want to, and then someone's like, "I'm not an astronaut." So, and then I asked if people even knew that Oreo was doing a sweepstakes for the space travel, and 80% said no. There was
Yeah, even for me, like before like before we preparing to recording the podcast, I didn't even know what is Oreo sweepstakes. What the heck is that? Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
In space, Oreos float. Astronauts munch on them in their space boat. Oreos spin. Astronauts smell them with a grin. Chocolate and cream in zero gravity flight. Oreos in space, what a tasty delight. These space Oreos, the space dunk, with these Oreos with pop rocks in them. They're actually pretty good.
All right.
For news, they introduced the Oreos Space Down cookie, this one, and they said it's kind of unique cosmic cream and then, with marshmallow flavors and popping candies inside. It makes a different experience, talking about.
Oh yeah.
And then they say supernova bursting sensation.
I love that.
Yeah, pretty much. And then they make kind of partnership with Space Perspective. They provide space travel with capsule, like kind of hot air balloon. Less pretty simply just hot air balloon. And then it's kind of for a winner to take a 6 hours journey to edge of space with pressurized capsule.
6 hours?
Yeah, 6
Mhm.
hours.
It's 6 hours.
Yeah,
It's
I
pretty
was-
long compared to the other ones.
Yeah,
They're like 30 seconds that you're in space or whatever. That's
Yeah.
a long time.
Hours
Yeah, but tell them all the cool stuff you could do.
Yeah,
you're gonna do.
okay. Let's say taking off, landing, and cruising include everything 6 hours. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
But only 6 hours of cruising of the outer space. That's horrible.
What would you do the whole time? You're just gonna
You
Maybe
can look
I'm
at the
not
Earth.
terrified
I
of
feel like
that.
it'd be pretty
I'm
cool.
gonna look
Like
at the Earth for a good 20 minutes, and then I'll be like, okay, I'm bored now.
Well, they have a
you're
whole
in
thing.
space.
So
It's like a
yeah.
whole new
Yeah, but
perspective.
I was surprised that amenities is include Wi-Fi. And
Yeah.
spa.
You have
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi
Yeah, I
in
was
space.
surprised. Wi-Fi?
No way.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the spa,
yeah,
it's just like
spa.
a small capsule.
I can
Yeah,
make
kind of
YouTube
like that.
video.
Yeah. And meal service along
Yeah.
with Oreo cookies.
It's like a 5-star hotel in space.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be sick. Complimentary too.
And that's like the
Stuff.
whole thing because they're like commercializing it. So
Yeah,
it's
it
not
is.
like for practicality, it's like genuinely for like making people comfortable. And that's really interesting.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's really cool.
it is. And just in case if somebody doesn't take that price, just in case let's say mental health or because health problem, disease, they cannot go to space, then they can take cash price also.
But 125,000 is the actual cost of like getting a booking a seat on the Explorer.
Oh.
So
Oh,
it is
okay,
like
okay.
the exact cost
Yeah,
they're giving you
maybe.
anyways, but they'll also throw in your trip to Florida anyways. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And pressure capturing just going up and down.
Yeah, so they
Yeah.
don't have all the added
Yeah,
cost.
that's that's the reason why I thought it was kind of.
And it's a lot less equipment too, because you don't have to because you're reusing the same thing over and over again. You're not having to repair anything. Well, hopefully not. So it's
Okay.
gonna be a lot
Just
better.
Yeah.
expenses and fuel and everything.
It's just
Yeah.
hydrogen, renewable hydrogen. So there's no rockets.
Yeah,
There's
that's-
no carbon footprint. And yeah.
I like that. That's
Yeah, I
really
like
cool
that.
that they're
Yeah.
eco-friendly because he was also did some research on that. So that is tentative for 2025, right?
Yes.
Nice. So did you do some research on Space Perspective themselves? Do you want to talk about what you learned a little bit?
Yeah, so Space Perspective is a company that is right now focusing on this balloon that we were talking about now. Sorry. It's Spaceship Neptune. So it doesn't actually reach space. The balloon flight tops out at about 9 miles high. I took some quotes from Jane Pointer, who is the founder and co-chief executive officer of Space Perspective. And she seems really excited to partner with Oreo, and her goal is essentially to make space travel more accessible to the public. As you were saying earlier, I didn't expect it to be that little, like $125,000. It's because she wants to bring space tourism to the world. In her quote, she says, "Through this program, we're amplifying our mission to bring accessible space tourism to the world." She can't wait to welcome the winner into the growing community of explorers who will all safely experience a life-changing journey and return with a new perspective on the planet and humanity. So it is about changing people's perspective, which is also interesting because of my interview with Paula. She mentioned talking to astronauts who have been up to space, and as they're looking down on Earth, the biggest takeaway they're getting is they see Earth as this one resource that they have to protect. It's so small. And so it's interesting that both Paula and Pointer are bringing up the same things, that this program's going to give people new perspective, hence the name Space Perspective.
Nice.
Yeah. So they have the Spaceship Neptune, and it's lifted up by, they trademarked it Space Balloon, which is, as I was mentioning earlier, propelled by renewable hydrogen, so no carbon footprint, no rockets. Is a spacecraft available to anyone who's medically fit to fly in a commercial airline.
Oh,
So,
wow. So
yeah.
you don't need any extra health things. So I could still do it because I can fly. That is so cool. I didn't think you'd be able
That'd
to.
be
Yeah, it is.
Because I
cool.
know that a lot of space travel is limited because of the health concerns. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it doesn't need any special training for that.
Yeah, that's so cool.
You don't need any special training, which is what might like deter some people. You just are basically taking a balloon ride up.
Thanks to SpaceX's innovative technology, we are able to travel to space more effectively and efficiently.
There's a couple things for human health. It's a radiation exposure and isolation problem, and gravity field, and yeah, that's it. So radiation exposure because of any like other planets or like, from the space, human get some radiation from the space. So it's kind of challenging for like Neptune space or rocket. So because they need to something shielding technology, they need to apply it. And then isolation problem is kind of mental health problem. I don't remember what phobia was it. The people someone like afraid to stay in the stuck.
Claustrophobic?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Some people are
Yeah.
afraid of like being in like closed in areas.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one's also a problem for like space because like you cannot go out even though you feel that phobia.
Yeah.
So that one's kind of challenging for Neptune. And of course, this one is only for 6 hours, but more space travel, like gravity, also can be a problem for the human. However, in the space, there's no gravity, so it's keep moving like goes different.
Yeah.
So yeah, I heard it's one of the problem.
It's interesting that you mentioned that because this specific
Uh-huh.
one, they don't have any effects of like G-force and stuff on it. They're really careful about that. So it's not like
Really?
exactly as what people might think, like, oh, I'm gonna go up in space and float around,
Uh-huh.
but it's more like, just going very high.
Yeah.
So just the experience of seeing the world from a different perspective.
Like it just like casually walk around,
Yeah.
That's
eat
pretty
some
cool.
steak,
Get a spa day up in space.
have a drink. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And they are going to have large windows for panoramic
Yeah,
views, so
panoramic
you can
views.
see like everywhere, and it can hold 8 people and the captain together. So
Uh-huh.
that actually sets a record for the most people taken to the edge of space, which is so cool.
Oh, it's sick. You could like
Yeah.
throw a party up there.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
exactly.
Exactly.
And didn't you also say that it is the first company to be designed without significant government funding or billionaire backing? So they're like doing this all without like what most people are using for it. They don't have like all the extra money and accessibility that a lot of people do. So I think it's so cool, and I love how environmental friendly it is because commercializing space travel, if you want to do it, you need to do it safely because like Earth is already having a lot of issues. We don't want to make it worse, you know?
Yeah.
So with privatizing space travel, you were talking about how companies like SpaceX and Boeing are using space travel now. So they've been getting astronauts though. So they have actual astronauts that are coming in and going to space. So they're doing all that training and doing all that. So it's very expensive, very time consuming, very cost ineffective, and the fuel is really bad on the environment
is.
and the products. I mean, I know they're doing really good with trying to reuse products, but it's still extremely expensive and really bad for the environment. Fuel is so bad for our ecosystem as it is, let alone going up into space and through our what's it called?
The atmosphere.
The atmosphere.
Yeah,
Yeah, going
yeah.
past the atmosphere. It's
Uh-huh.
it's causing a lot of damage. So
Okay, so they started their sweepstake in the end of January, and it ended April 5th. So just a few days ago. But Michelle Danigan, who is the vice president of Oreo, mentioned in a statement that Oreo cookies are all about transporting fans to a place full of excitement and childlike curiosity. This is not the first time that Oreo has turned to outer space exactly to inspire their cookies, because they have done the Marshmallow Moon Oreos for the
Sounds so good
50th
right now.
anniversary of the moon landing. So Oreo is really Oreo kind of is not only marketing themselves but space. And who eats Oreos? Everyone.
Everyone.
But
Yeah, who doesn't like Oreo?
I mean, they're
Yeah.
even gluten-free.
Everyone like
You got
yeah.
the normal ones. They got like 10,000s of other flavors.
peanut butter, golden,
Yeah,
the golden
yeah.
Red
Oreos,
velvet.
red velvet.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
there's so
yeah,
much. Right, birthday
absolutely.
cake is my son's favorite. He
Uh-huh.
loves the birthday cake ones.
Yeah.
I've gone to like Walmart or Publix, the whole section is Oreo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's
Yeah.
very accessible, and they
Yeah.
have a
I feel
lot of
like
options.
I feel like I see Oreos everywhere I go.
Yeah,
Like
it's so
Walmart,
true. I mean, they even have those like little mini
all those
packets.
gas
Yeah.
stations,
Yeah.
yeah, so Oreo is super accessible. It promotes a large demographic of many people, but it does especially cater to young children because kids love Oreos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are.
yeah, and
If I was left unsupervised, I would demolish the whole thing.
I've done it before, so I've even gotten to the point where I only take a couple out because I'll sit there and eat a whole box while I'm watching a movie and not even realize.
Yeah.
Bunch.
yeah, but as like everyone loves Oreos, so
Mhm.
it's kind of really good to promote like space and the future generation of astronauts, the future generation of space explorers, and the people who will be traveling and doing space tourism. Yeah, so that's a cool thing about Oreo.
I love that.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
want
cool,
to know
man.
who won, and like I hope they're probably gonna record the experience. I hope they do because that'd be cool to see it happen and like see the whole like thing.
Well, if there's Wi-Fi in there, I'll try to live stream it.
Yeah, it is. Like, Wi-Fi's crazy.
You're gonna live stream on TikTok the whole time I'm up in space. Like, could you imagine? I bet they're
Exactly,
gonna do
I'll
yeah.
be
that.
like, this is live.
Oh my god,
Maybe
coming
on
live to you from outer space.
Maybe on Twitch.
Oh
I'll
my
just, like,
God.
go on my, like, little selfie stick,
Play some video games in space.
be like, meet the cat.
Must be so good.
Oh my god, it's gonna be crazy. So